Morning guys, hope you're all well. Bobby Freeman here, and here my friends today. I'm officially excited because we have one of my favourite all-time Porsches on the show. This, my friends, is a 996, well 911 to be absolutely accurate, just in case you didn't know, a 911 996 Turbo, okay? And the reason I say it's one of my favourite cars, as you know, I know Porsches quite well, I worked for them for quite a few years. The 996 generation, it came out in, the original 996 is about 1997 to about 2004, but the turbos continued to be made until about 2006. And they were kind of the rawest version of a 911, in my opinion anyway. Anything that came afterwards was kind of a little bit too scientific, a little bit too kind of a bit conservative, I suppose, and in terms of the drive, because this gives you a very raw and kind of primeval feeling when you drive it, a visceral kind of feedback from the steering wheel, real sort of sense of connection with the road, the steering and the chassis, but also in terms of design as well, because look, I think it's like the last time the Porsche drivers, the Porsche designers were allowed to kind of go a bit wild, because as I said, everything that's come subsequently is a little bit kind of, you know, conservative, and the tie buttoned done up all the way to the neck and sort of a smart tie on. This is more like sort of balls out rock and roll, and I absolutely love it. It's powered by a 3.6 litre flat six twin turbo, and it will get to 0 to 60 in around about just, wow, it varies depending on where you look. Porsche say sort of just above 4 seconds, but realistically in tests they've had it down as low as below 4 seconds. It's an absolute beast of a thing. And it also, turbo lag is kind of, in latter years, something that's kind of been sort of erased in the sort of modern Porsches, but this has got a lovely turbo lag on it, and I kind of enjoy that. There's a sense of kind of suspense when you floor it. There's a little bit of a gap, and all of a sudden it's just like bang, like you've been hooked onto a passing flying jet or something, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And I'm gonna be having a look at it, a bit of a chat to you like I usually do, and a bit of a drive in it, and finding out what it's all about. So let's have a look around this one then, shall we? Now this one, obviously the main thing, iconic thing from this version of the 996 is these headlights. So this is the generation 2 of the 996. The original, the generation 1 ones, they kind of came around more of a sort of a curvy sort of a boomerang sort of shape like that. These ones have got, some people call it a teardrop. I don't think it's really a teardrop. It's kind of a morphing of this sort of traditional Porsche round sort of overhead lights, which will be there. They added this bit on here, and I remember seeing this back in when it first came out, and I just thought, wow, Porsches have gone really cool. I think it was a great styling cue, and it's a shame they kind of moved away from that really in many ways, went back to the oval ones. So let's have a look around. We've got 18-inch alloys on this one, and this is a 2005 car. I mean, and look at it. It's literally like it's just driven straight out the showroom. It's been kept absolutely fantastic by my good friend Tom here, isn't it, Tom? Good work. And it's just, it really, it's so nice to see these cars of this age look like, you know, it's such a good condition. This one is a cabriolet, obviously, but we've got the hard top on here. This is like a sort of if you're not aware of these, I know a lot of Porsche enthusiasts will know, it's kind of removable hard top, so in the winter you don't get degradation of your sort of soft top, so it's a really nice touch. And again, it's, as me and Tom were just talking about, it's kind of keeps those nice classic Porsche lines as well, so it looks really cool. You've also of course got the turbo air inlet here. This is only in the turbos. Obviously it has a functional purpose, but it also looks damn cool as well. And as we come around the back, we've got the fantastic split spoiler on these 996. In fact, all the turbos have this, I believe. So this raises up and down. It comes up at, do you know what speed it comes up at, Tom?
No, I don't.
No? I reckon it's roughly, I think it's something like 80 mile an hour. No, it can't be 80 mile an hour, because that would be illegal.
70 they pop up.
70, it's definitely 70, it's definitely 70, okay, 100%. And as we come around the back, this is a great angle for the 996 because it's just a big, wide beast. Look at that, it's super imposing. You've got the beautiful kind of tailpipes down here as well, the double ones, then one over there as well. The spoilers on these doesn't actually create any actual downforce, but what it does do is it reduces any lift for the, if you want to get geeky about it, and I definitely do. This particular model is Atlas Grey, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, it looks more like Atlas Blue to me. It's definitely kind of a bluey hint to it, but it's a very popular colour, this, and again, quite a tough colour to keep looking so nice. Luckily Tom's looking after it extremely well, and it looks like box fresh and showroom perfect, and we'll just come around. Obviously this is going to be the same as the other side, but I like to be complete and go all the way around the car. There we go. That, my friends, is a thing of beauty. So here we are on the inside, and as I say about the styling being kind of rock and roll on the outside, it continues throughout the cabin of this as well, because as I say, this is kind of a running theme, I know, but Porsches of sort of the latter years, they've gone very kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, they look cool, but they're kind of very minimalistic and kind of understated. And as you can see in here, it's completely the opposite. It's like totally mad, like loads of like cool sort of crazy lines coming across here, and kind of just, it just looks kind of a wonderful cacophony of curves and sort of lovely late 90s design. I really, really like it. Not least of all the steering wheel. When you grab all of this thing, it just feels geared and set up just to be held, and sort of, and believe me, you're doing a lot of holding on this car, because it literally is foot down, hold on for your grim death, because it just absolutely flies when that turbo kicks in. And I've always enjoyed kind of the feel of the steer. This is the first, I think this was the first, not this actual one, but the 996 turbo was the first turbo I actually went and had a drive in, and oh god, it just really brings back some great memories, just holding on to that steering wheel. It's that's awesome. And as always with Porsches, they like to have the rev counter in the middle rather than the speed dial, because that's the most important thing when you're driving a Porsche, is how many revs you're doing rather than the speed. That's a secondary concern. And they always have this kind of 5 dial setup over there. These are kind of merged into the side, sort of half a dial as well, but that's very, again, very indicative of Porsche. And as we pan across to the middle here, you've got the console here, which looks equally as mad. I love this. It kind of almost sort of like you're in a sort of a plane cockpit. But one of my favorite features of this, you know, I always love a cup holder in this show. You might be thinking to yourself, well, where are the cup holders? Wow, Porsche have some of the most innovative cup holders in the car industry. You press this thing here and that pops out. You think, that's very nice. I've got 1 cup, or what if I've got 2? Wow, you're in luck, because look at that. And it's also situated right by the air vent, so it keeps your drink warm or cold. Well done, Porsche. And as we pan down here, as you can see, you'll see a very nice manual gear knob. Now, this is very important, because these were the days when to get the quickest 0 to 60, you had to have a manual car, because the workings of an automatic car couldn't change gear as quickly as a human hand. And I kind of yearn for those days, because it's become the opposite now. You know, in the modern ones, you have to get the PDK version. So I really like this. This was back to the days when humans were in control and robots hadn't taken over. But it's a real kind of chunky and sort of chunky, a satisfyingly clunky, chunky, oh god, I'll do that again, a satisfyingly chunky gear change in these. It's wonderful, that just the way it kind of cha-chunk, it's just very, very pleasing. Maybe for me anyway, I always enjoyed it. But as we come down here, this one's got the body coloured, also in Atlas grey, centre console here, which is very nice. Then you've got your electric windows here and here. A good old-fashioned traditional proper handbrake. That's a sad thing as well, isn't it? We don't ever isn't it a satisfying thing to turn your car off and just go clink like that and make sure it's not going to roll anywhere? I don't know, maybe that's just me getting a little bit picky, but who knows, I'm a picky kind of guy. Even in the door cards over here, look at the design of that. They don't make door panels like that anymore. I love this kind of way that it swishes up here and it mirrors it with these lines here. It's lovely. You also, this is a great feature I always liked on the 996, you get the carpeted bit up here. Isn't that lovely? Nice bit of shag pile in the door surround the speaker. Fantastic. Seats as well. Actually, Porsche seats in 911s particularly haven't really changed over the years. They're pretty, if you look at sort of a modern day, sort of a brand new 911, they're going to look pretty similar. So Porsche do like to keep, you know, styling wise, sort of certain styling cues the same throughout the years. I think it's certainly the case when you look at the profile of a Porsche, but certain things like that as well, the seats have stayed the same, and I really like that. So in terms of back seats on here, I'm going to show you how you get in. I thought it might make nice content of me squeezing into the back. Now, I became a kind of an expert at doing this when I worked at Porsche. There we go. I'm a 6-footer, and that's not, I made it look quite easy, I know, but it's not as easy. You know, I'm obviously a professional. So anyway, I'm now in the back. It's not what you'd call spacious, I don't think. This is not a family saloon, but to be honest, you're not really buying a Porsche 911 for sitting in the back. However, I am technically in here, as you can see. I'll give you an idea over there of how much room on that side. Not much at all. However, what you do get, in fact, I'm going to get out of the car, I'm going to show you an advantage of these back seats. What you do get is actually a surprising amount of practicality, because if you pull this down, you actually get like a little shelf there. So if you've just got two people you're going away, not only have you got the front boot, which we're going to have a look at in a minute, you also get a fairly decent amount of usable storage space on there. Massive, you can pile a load of stuff on there, extra stuff down there. So probably not what you're expecting, but a surprisingly practical car. And speaking of practicality, if we have a look in the front boot here, this is the main storage area, which is surprisingly deep. And also you got your 6-disc changer in there, going old school, and you could get about 2 small children in there if you were so minded. Just to clarify, that is a joke. Please don't try to put 2 small children in the boot of your Porsche. So that's a nice look around the car. I say it's time for me and Tom to take it for a nice little drive. So here we are out on the road now in deepest, darkest Kent, but whoa, I wish you could feel G-force on this thing, because this, that's amazing. Tom just put his foot down a little bit and it's really flying down this road in Kent. The good things about Porsches is they're kind of, they always used to build them as the sports car that you can use every day, and it's kind of true, isn't it? Really, they're super practical. Really, it's not just. I have done. Exactly, yeah. Not like something like, I don't know, like a Lotus or something where, you know, it's just totally impractical and uncomfortable and no luggage space or anything. You could, like you say, you've been down to, Tom's got a 996 C4 as well, and you drove it all the way to Italy, you said, didn't you? Yeah,
I went down through France, did the route Napoleon, down from Grenoble to Saint-Tropez, through Monte Carlo.
Wow.
And then to Verona, Lake Garda.
Really? You went to Verona?
Yeah.
To Venice?
Yeah.
Then up
through the Alps, through Austria, back to Stuttgart, to the Porsche Museum on the way home, obviously.
You went to the Porsche Museum?
Felt compulsory on the trip.
Yeah.
And then, Strasbourg and back over about 2.5 weeks. But yeah, fantastic.
Oh my God, what a trip.
It was good. Wow. It was great fun.
I'm very jealous. Sounds like
to do another one.
Sounds like a video I could do in the future. The thing about it is that they're obviously, you know, they'll do fantastic speed and acceleration and performance, but they're just kind of very happy sat and cruising at a nice sort of moderate speed as well, aren't they? It's
absolutely.
Very usable. The one thing about Porsches I really sort of admired was when you got, you know, massive, so much power and so much torque or something like this, you very rarely, when you floor it, do you get any wheel spin. All that power goes straight into the road, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially with this being the four-wheel drive as well.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, you've got to be giving it some serious beans to lose the rear end on it.
Yeah, like something like when you compare it to, I don't know, like a Mercedes AMG or like a Jaguar F-Type.
I had an M4 before this.
Oh, did you?
And that was not difficult to lose the rear end on.
Really?
Especially with a bit of moisture or coldness in the air.
I bet, yeah.
Obviously, tyres help massively.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But I remember like driving F-Types and for the first time, and you just, even in a straight line, you'd put your foot down and the back end just lights up and starts twitching about, you know, and you very rarely get that in Porsche, unless, like you say, if it's really wet. But on a dry day, you're never going to get that.
No, not at all.
And I think that's why Porsches are so, one of the reasons Porsches are so popular, because that, you know, that engineering is just second to none, I think.
Especially on this generation before it became electronic.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of the feel in the manual analog driving element.
Exactly, yeah. So we're coming out onto the motorway now, and we're going to open her up. I'm going to keep quiet so you can hear the sound of that engine. Oh, yes. Oh, that's awesome. You never get sick of that feeling, do you?
Absolutely not.
It's great.
It is rather addictive.
It is. Gets under your skin, doesn't it?
Yeah. Always prefer naturally aspirated, but there is something quite enjoyable about a bit of turbo boost.
Oh yeah. Just put your foot to the floor and just hold on. So we're just showing it some country lanes now, and it's another one of the times where Porsches really shine when you throw it into a corner, and you really appreciate that sort of years and years worth of Porsche engineering, and it just grips on like nothing on earth, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. You've got to be going some to lose the traction.
Yeah, like you say, especially with the four-wheel drive models like this.
And hydraulic steering is wonderful.
Oh really?
People never
turbo only came in 4-wheel drive, of course, didn't they? I think they knew people that they thought, well, this is such a fast car.
I think it would be a bit dangerous rear-wheel drive.
I think we both.
That's the GT2's job, I suppose, isn't it?
I suppose so. Yeah.
Pay
True.
enough money, you can kill yourself. That's a bit. I would happily do that one day if I could have the money.
You should work on the marketing department for Porsche. So we got a lovely long sweeping corner coming up here. We're gonna send it round. Oh, it's just so planted. Oh man. Oh, that's the stuff. And you can see also that you can see this sort of raised bit just above the wheel arch there, which actually helps you. Porsche designed it that way, so it helps you know where that particular wheel is, so you can hit the apex absolutely perfectly. Nice short work of them.
Yeah, it's not bad for the old overtakes.
Oh yeah. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. It's been absolutely fantastic. As I say, you know, Porsche has been a big part of my life, and it's been really cool to feature my first 911 and the fact that it's a 996 on the show. It's been absolutely wonderful. Thanks very much for Tom for lending me the car for the video. It's very, very kind. We've got it a little bit dirty. It was all lovely and clean to start with. Sadly, he's going to have to go and clean his car again after this. But if you've enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, press the like button to show that you've liked it. And if you want to support the show, head over to the Patreon page or click the join button below this video. But until next time guys, I'm Bobby Freeman. Drive safe.